Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make a simple two-player racing game, and this game is like beginner friendly, so it's super easy to create. So let me just show you guys how it works. So you try and like stay in the lines, and like once you complete a whole lap, you like get a point. So as you can see now, my blue score is 1, and so you have to avoid touching the yellow and white lines. So like I said, super easy and super simple. So let's just get started. So before we start like coding our game, we need to get our like sprites and background ready. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and upload a backdrop that I found on Scratch. So that's gonna be like my racing background. I'm also gonna do the same for the sprites. I'm gonna upload a blue car that I found and a green card that I found. And I'm also gonna upload a finish line that I found basically. So now I have all my sprites ready. And if you can't find like these like sprites or backgrounds on Scratch, then it's really easy to like just paint them yourself. So if I go on backdrops and I click on paint, then you can like what you can do is you can get this like green color. Then you can select the square and create like green background. Then you select the paintbrush, make the thickness like 100, make the brightness all the way down, so that's black. And then you can sort of like paint the like track yourself. And obviously like my track isn't that good, but this is always an option if you can like find it yourself. And you can also like sort of like make like a rectangle for the finish line sprite if you can't find that, and also like draw the cars yourself. But I would just recommend like finding something on Scratch so that we can just focus on how to actually code it, right? So what I would like to do, I don't want to put the finish line over here, so I'm gonna drag it and I'm gonna move it over here. And right now our finish line isn't really that straight. So the trick to make it straight and like actually just change the position, I'm gonna click on the direction and I'm gonna like turn it like this so that it's straight. There we go. Now our finish line is like perfectly positioned. Now, obviously, our cars are a bit too big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make them a bit smaller. So the same with the green car. Yeah, the green car. So now our cars are like smaller. And I'm also gonna go ahead and drag them out here. And whenever you like drag a sprite, these coordinates change, so these coordinates point to where the location of the sprite is. So this go to block will point to this location, okay? This location where the blue car is. And the same with the green car. If I go to the green sprite, this go to block will point to the exact location of where the green car is right now, okay? So what I want to do is that when the flag is clicked, I want the cars to start out in this location, right? So I'm gonna do the same with the blue car. Like when the flag is clicked, go to this like location over here. So go ahead and drag the cars out here, and then you can use this go to block for this location. So just to show how it works, if I move the blue car here and the green car here, since when the flag is clicked, the cars will go to the location of where they were. When the flag is clicked, the cars will go here. So what I also want to do is I want the cars to always point in direction 90 when the flag is clicked. So for both the cars. And now we're gonna make our cars move. So to make our cars move, we're gonna get a forever loop and we're gonna get an if block. and go to sensing and use the key like press block. And when the key up arrow is pressed, I want the car to go forward. And when you want the sprite to go forward, you want to grab the move 10 steps block. And as since I'm in a forever loop, as long as the up arrow key is pressed, my car will keep moving forward, right? So if I did this outside the forever loop, like imagine if I didn't have a forever loop here, then when I click on the green flag and I press the up arrow, my car will move a tiny bit. Actually, it won't move at all, basically. So it needs to be in this forever loop because I want to keep on checking if the up arrow key is pressed. I don't want to like check it once like this. I want to check it forever, right? And this point in direction 90 will just keep our car straight when the flag is clicked. Because when we turn and we click on the green flag, we don't want the cars to like be in like weird directions. We want the cars to start out like straight. Okay, so we made our car move forward now. So if I click on the up arrow, my car will move forward. So to make it turn left and right, we're gonna get another if block. We're gonna go to sensing, and if the right arrow key is pressed, then I want the car to move like clockwise. So turn 5 degrees, and then I'm gonna duplicate this. And if the left arrow key is pressed, then I want the car to turn anti-clockwise 5 degrees. Okay, so this will basically make the car move left and right. So now the movements of the car is done. So we also want our blue car to move, but we don't want our blue car to move with the up arrow, right arrow, and left arrow. We want the blue car to basically move with like WASD. So, but the code is like almost exactly the same. So instead of wasting our time and writing this out like this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag it like this, and then you see the blue car sort of shake, and then we let go. Then our code goes back to where it was. But the code is also now in the blue sprite, right? And like I said, we don't want the blue car to move with the up arrow and right arrow because now if I click on the green flag, basically, both cars will move at like with the up arrow and like right arrow. And we want the cars to move with different controls. So we're gonna change this to W. We're gonna change this to D. So when D is pressed, the car will turn right. And when A is pressed, the car will turn left, basically. So now both the cars are moving and the movement is like finished. So the blue car is moving and the green car is moving. Perfect. Now, how do we make the cars like stay in the track, right? Because as you can see, I can just drive out wherever I want to, right? And so what I'm gonna do is when the car touches the white line or the yellow line, I want the car to go back to the start, right? So this way it's impossible for the car to cross the yellow line or the white line, so it's impossible for the car to go out of the track because the yellow and white lines go across the track basically. So how I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get a if block and I'm gonna get the OR operator right here. Then I'm gonna go to sensing and bring out this block touching color. So what you can do basically is to let the game know if a sprite is touching a certain color in the background. You can click on this and just click on this like icon over here, and then you can sort of like select the color you want, right? So now it's that yellow color, and if the car is touching the white, this like white color, then I also want it to go back to the start. So if it's touching the yellow color or the white color, it will go back to the start, right? So to make it go back to the start, if you notice when we click the green flag, our cars go back to the start, right? And this is the two blocks that makes our car go back to the location and be pointing straight, right? So this basically makes our car go to the start and ready. So I'm just gonna duplicate this and put it over here. So now every time our car touches the yellow or white like color, so the yellow or white lights basically, it will go back to the start. So now if I click on the green flag and I'm moving the green car, but if I touch the yellow line, as you can see, the car goes back to the start. If I touch the white line, it also goes back to the start. Perfect. And since this code is so similar, I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this if block and I'm gonna put in the blue like car 2. Then I'm gonna put this back in and then go to the blue sprite. And also if the blue car is touching the yellow line or the white line, I want it to go back to the start. So we're gonna do the same like we did with the green car. We're gonna duplicate these blocks that makes the blue car go to its location and the start. And then we're gonna put everything back to where it was. And now even the blue car, if it touches the yellow or white lines, it will go back to the start. Perfect. So now our game is almost done. All we have to do is like add the scores of the like laps. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna use variables for that. So you go ahead and create a variable for all sprites, and I already created my variables. So create like two variables, call them whatever you want. So I call them blue laps and green laps basically. And what I want to do is that whenever the game starts, so whenever the green flag is clicked, I want to set the uh, laps to 0. So I'm going to set the green laps to 0. And for the blue car, I'm going to set the blue laps to 0. So imagine if like you're done finished playing a game basically, and your laps are 10. Whenever the green flag is clicked, the laps will go to 0 basically when you set the laps to 0 over here. So now that we did that, we want to like have a way to update the laps, right? So we're gonna get another if block and we're gonna go to sensing. And if it's touching the finish line, basically, I want to, so we're on the green side, so I want to change the green laps by 1. So our green laps is 1, and if I touch the finish line, our green laps will become 2, basically. I'm gonna like just copy this code into the blue car also and change this into the blue laps. And then what's very important is to put this code on top of this code basically, because you want the game to first check if it's touching the finish line and then update the score, then first check if it's touching the color basically. So we want this to happen first. So we're gonna put this on top of this if block. And we're gonna do the same over here in the green car basically, and then our game should be done. So if I'm driving around with the green car now, let me just go full screen so I can see it better. So I'm driving around with the green car and perfect, the laps increased by 1. And let me try out with the blue car using WASD, and the laps should also increase by 1. So if you guys enjoyed this tutorial and um, like created this game basically, make sure to leave like a like and subscribe so that I know you guys enjoy this type of content, and leave a comment if you want to see part 2, because this game is like finished, but we can also do a lot to make this game better basically. So that was it for today, and I'll see you guys next time.